We'll be live in a few seconds. Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome to the New York session. We're live here in our trading room and we're broadcasting on YouTube. So welcome to all the YouTube viewers who join. We haven't really advertised this, so share it, share the news, invite more traders, and we'll be here until the end of the week. We'll be doing the London and the New York sessions. London starts at 7:45 a.m. London time, New York 7:45 a.m. New York time. If you like what we do, join us, share the message, and let's go. Okay, so I'm on the Euro Oz. What I'm going to do right now is, if you see all of these that we have here, these are trades we identified this morning. Some of them we have entry orders and some of the trades are already going. So they're at different stages. We're going to start with those. We're going to go through those trades, show you what we see, why we're taking the trades, how we're managing them. And then we're going to, after that, we're going to look at any other trades you guys want to look at, any setups you want to look at, and take questions. Right? So let's have a good time. Let's go. I'm going to start with silver. We were looking for a sell setup on silver this morning. That is under this low. And like I said, if it breaks this sideways move here, we'll take the trade. If it comes higher into this top, we will not be selling it. So right now, what we're looking for is a possibility that silver could be making a bigger consolidation. Right, there are a number of ways you can look at this. This could be a bigger consolidation. It could be that all of this is making one big consolidation. So there are a number of ways of how this could develop before it actually drops. Right now, it still looks downside. But if this stays here as a flag, there's a possibility you can get one more up move. So the question is, if it's going to make one more up move, should we buy it? Right? That's the question here. Now, should we take the trade if it's going to make one more up move? I think that would be a good trade. So if this is going to go one more up, there's a good chance you may want to buy it, because this could be the low. I'm going to put this flag as it is, right? This is more of a correction here. We didn't break the low. This was it. This here could be the low, and this could be the start of the up move. And then we might look at all of this as the correction. Some kind of an expanding flat in the middle with a flat in there. Those are two possibilities of how you can look at the pattern. But until it's fully developed and complete, we wouldn't know what the entire correction is. We can go with a buy setup, and a buy setup above here is perfect, which means if this breakout, you will have to manage the trade once it breaks the top, because it could also come here and then come back down, and we'll still be in this sideways. All right. The reason you may want to take this, and I mentioned this in the last 2 days, is that this move might eventually get a deeper correction. See, we are coming down, deep correction, drop, deep correction. This has not had a deep correction. So there's a good chance that this could be starting some kind of a deeper correction here before it drops, or continue to go up. So we'll be watching for deep corrections here. This would be a buy setup. So we're going to change the sell from this morning, which didn't happen, into a buy setup now. And go to the 15. We're going to put it above the last impulse. The last impulse on this one is here. It's going down, but it's going down as a correction. See, they drop, pull back, drop, pull back, drop, pull back. So if you try to sell, this is going to pull back into you, and you probably will be closing it in any case. This would drop some more. The only thing we would do is, if it drops, I'm going to change this to the two bottoms here, is if it drops all the way back to the bottom here, if this works its way down like this, all the way here, it's still a buy. We'll still go back to the top. We test that top. We'll buy this one here for that trade. But now that will confirm the downside. If it goes from here, well, it's possible it's much higher to the upside. So let's see which one comes. Gold, you should be in the gold trade already. Under 1 hour, there's no reason to close it, because each candle is higher. So this would be a trade. What I would say is put it to break even and see how far it goes. So the gold trade we bought this morning on this small flag here, and they made a high, they made a high, they made a high, they made a high, and it's making a high. So it's probably it still looks like a consolidation for downside, which means this is going pretty slow. And that means it can still drop. It's not moving up like an impulsive move as yet, right? It could still drop. So I would say just put this to break even and leave it. Let's see how far this goes. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to follow those 15 minutes flats. So there's one 15-minute flat, that is this one here, right? So if you put it the break even, you're following that flat. If it makes another 15-minute flat here, then go again slowly, make another flat, go again, we'll follow the flats and we'll move the stop. If for any reason it drop, well, the worst case is you got break even and we'll be selling it. Potentially, there are two things we're looking for. First, this move up, that is this move up here, and then probably downside, or continue up out of this structure all the way to the stop. Now we have dollar news coming up at 4:30. So we're going to take 15 minutes to look through all these trades really fast, and then we will be setting up for the dollar news event coming. For my traders, they will be trading it. You know the strategy that we use to trade. We're not going to do that live here, but I'll set the charts up for you and you will know what to do. You can manage the trades yourself. I will tell you what we're doing. So in the news, we would likely, if you're in this trade in the news, you'll keep it at break even. So in 30 minutes, if nothing happens, you'll keep this at break even to see if it goes. If it become a break even trade, then let it be. Euro buy setup, perfect. Euro still has more to go. We are expecting the euro to come and break this top. So what you're going to do is going to put this to break even right now. And if you want to keep it through the news, you can still keep it for break even. Remember, we're looking at this as a possible correction. So when it breaks this top, it potentially could still come back down, make a new low. In the bigger picture, we're expecting it to go down a little more. We're expecting this to come a little lower. If we're wrong about that, and this is all for the consolidation, I'd say this is all for the running flat, then this will take off like a rocket. So if you're in the trade already, it would be really good to keep it. I think we should have enough to keep it for the during the news. Yeah, you could literally keep that during this 10-20. We enter. Yes, you have enough to keep it during the news. Put it at break even to keep it. If they make a consolidation here, we'll still buy it during the news. This is a top. That's not a buy. We'll still buy this during the news, but the buy is a higher risk because once they break the top, it can turn. So if you're already in the trade, I would say keep the trade. That's a trade from this morning from the London session. Pound, the buy has not been triggered. We assume that it could come back here. The buy has not been triggered. I would take this off because you don't want to be tagged now just in front of the news. When the news come, we look at it. This has to come down. It doesn't matter if you break the top again. It has to come back here, right? Because it looks mostly like a correction. And this was a really deep pullback. So is there a chance it could go much more? Well, let's see. If there's a potential for much more before it comes back, we'll see. Well, this one also, we're looking at this running flat. And yeah, it could probably do this. This could be all a running flat and we're going up. Or it could come a little more like here. And sorry, take that out. It could come a little more here and then go. I think we'll see. When the news come in the next, we still have 30, 40 minutes. We'll decide. Maybe we'll take the buy on this and see if it takes off like a rocket. It will be worth the risk because if it takes off, it's going to break this top. So that would be a big move. These were sells. I'll take off those sells. Not to affect what we're doing. This is a top. So we leave it. We want to know where the top is. We'll leave this one. So let's see. Aussie USD. Yep. It's going up back. So the sell we had, we didn't do it, but if you're going for a sell here, you'd have to take that off. It's going to the top. So Aussie big picture upside. This is definitely upside. The question is whether we have a buy setup right now. And we don't. And we don't have a buy setup. If we're going to get a buy setup, this would have to pull back somewhat and then go. But for the sell, potentially it could only come and break this low. So if we're going to trade the news, we will ignore the sell and we'll go with the buy. We'll take the buy setup on this one. So my traders, you're going to go mostly for a buy setup on this one. So when we come back to the news, we'll do all the dollar pairs. New Zealand, it's coming up. There was no buy setup. We didn't take the trade. Nothing happened. It's still where it is. It's probably going to go a little more. And this one could do both sides. I think both sides possible. The sell is the most dominant one, which means I think the sell is more likely to happen than the buy, but we'll see. We'll come back to that. Swiss, if you took the sell, you're doing well. You're actually lucky because we said that is possible. Either it was going to stop here and then go back up, or it's going to just drop through the bottom because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's likely going to drop. So if you're in the trade, you're good. Just put it to break even and stay with it. I think this has much more to go. We can break this low. Then you take profit. If you like the profit you already have and you want to close it before the news, we'll close it and we'll re-enter. which means if you think that during the news, this thing can go back up deep and you don't want to give it up, well, then you can do that. There it's making a flag here, which means eventually there'll be a flag here, right? You see there's a small flag forming here. So there's a good chance that it will go back, make a nice small flag here, and that would be a sell set. We're going to be selling this during the news. Yeah. Okay. We haven't broken the top as yet, and we're coming down. It's kind of forming a sell setup. Do we need to break that up? Nope, we broke this top. Now we need to go break that up. We need to break that to confirm the running flat in here. If we're going to confirm that running flat, it needs to break the top. So this would be just a small pullback. Can it drop lower and then go back up? Yeah, why not? We could probably get a really big drop here. This could literally do this and then go back up. We would put this as a running flat. We'll go with it as a running flat if that happens. So maybe we'll even consider the sell here during the news. See whether we actually get this move. That would make a perfect running flat. Not that it's going to happen, since the buy, I don't know, we can put it for both sides. The buy is possible. We don't have a flag for the buy, but it's possible it could go up. CAD, I think put it the break even and leave it. We haven't got any of the up moves, which means it dropped. You got one pullback here. I think this pullback would probably go with this one or with this one. No, this one looks better. So this is still going to drop. If it can come here by the time the news in 30 minutes, you can put that to break even and keep it. There's a very good chance it will spike up and then drop because we still have this one. So be it that way, you take break even on it. So 3 or 4 trades are already running into profit. You'll have to decide what to do with them in front of the news, right? You still have a lot of time to make that decision. You can make that decision like 5 minutes before the news. To take the profit depends how far it moves. You're okay. Okay, we're at the top of this and seems like a channel or a running flat. I would probably go more with a running flat. More of a running flat rather than a channel forming here. So we'll see. There's more upside to it, and probably a buy setup here would be okay. It is making a small flag here in the 15. If that flags become bigger, if that flag become bigger, a buy setup would not be a bad idea. Better, of course, to get it from the bottom. If it comes back here and start to go up, the buy setup from the bottom will be better. I don't think it's a channel, but if it's a channel, let it break out, make a flag, and then we sell. We're going up, we'll probably test that up. Euro Swiss. So you're tagged on this one and kind of tagged and pull back. You're in here, probably close the trade. Let me see if that's a 1 hour, right? Did a 1 hour? Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, close the trade. By the way, for my traders, this is today's class. The last 3 classes we do is based on this: when to close the trade, why to close the trade, what to look for after. So this one, go tag you, come back here. It's going up and it's not going through. Take off the trade right here. Your stop for that trade should be here, but you close the trade right here. Put an entry above the top. Every time you close it, put an entry above the top. And we're still expecting the upside. So this one I'll take off. That is gone already. This one we take off here for probably about 5 pips loss, maybe. And then we'll see what happens. Is it coming down? I don't think so. But I can see the possibility of them actually, doing this back to the bottom here before you make a final one to break that top. That possibility exists. So we'll put an entry above the top and we'll wait. Euro Pound, we didn't have anything. And it's kind of going to come down. We still don't have anything, leave it. Euro New Zealand. So we're taking this to go up, tagged you, come down. Your stop for this trade should be here. This is the impulse. If this thing makes any correction here, close it. If it drops lower, make a correction. But it seems like we might be heading for the downside. All right, so just give it an hour. How many hours? It's 1, 2 hours. Give it another hour. If it doesn't go back up, wait for flags, close it. If it goes back up, close it. Right? We have a lot of divergence and it's at the top. And we are expecting a move to the downside. So the only reason you take that is that probably it's going to go one spike, then come. We still have this move to get, right? Still have that impulse to go. So if it's coming down now for that impulse, let me go with an arrow, sorry. If they're coming down for this impulse now, we'll have to wait for it to drop, make a flag, and then. So right now it's still at the top. So no big deal if you close it anytime you want. Just wait for this hour to close and then get closer to break even and take it off. So come on, what's the chart is frozen now? Give me a second, please. Okay, let's go back. That's Euro New Zealand. We're in the Euro New Zealand. Let's say, yeah. Come on. Okay, the charts are kind of frozen. Take a while. Yeah. Okay, so you have a couple hours here still. Let this already close, and once it pulls back, we're going to be looking for a sell setup if we get any flag. What happened to the charts now? Okay, guys, give me a second. The charts are really, really slow. Good. Euros, buy setup. It's still a buy setup. You can move your end shoulder to this impulse now, and it's still a buy setup. It's still a flat there. We're making a small flag, so we'll go with the buy. Good. I don't know what happened to the charts again. In the New York session, this keeps happening. Maybe they're overload or something. Euro yen. Okay, we're at the top. We're looking for sell setups. It can go both ways, but I think most likely we want to sell. I showed this structure this morning in the weekly. So if you haven't seen it, go watch this morning webinar. You're going to see the weekly. Any sell setup we're going to take. A number of the yen pairs have that. So we're going to look for that. Pound New Zealand, it probably will break out. I still think they'll probably break out, go up. It's coming down right now. No, my internet is not slow. My internet is 600 megabytes second. I have a direct, in Dubai now, they have these direct optical cards to your apartment with really high internet speed. So if it's slowing down, it could be one of two things: either trading view charts are slow, or my computer is slowing down because it's been on for a long time. So I need to I should have rebooted before the session. The internet in Dubai is amazing. When I came here the first time, the internet was 4 megabytes second, and that was slow. That one was slow. Now it's 600. So that's the one I have. Put it here, flat, still go back up. I think we've got a flat here. This is kind of a flat here. So this piece, I mean, if you're very aggressive, yes. If not, just wait for it to come here and then still go for that by trying to get it from the bottom going up. It's going to be one more up and then probably down. We're not going to go in any selling here as yet. So Euro yen, though, focus on the Euro yen. That's what I want. Focus on that. If it starts to give a sell, it makes a flag, you can take the trade, but just be careful. It's already very high. Okay, everything frees up again. What the hell is this now? So we're in the Euro yen. Let me go back. Yes, Euro yen and Pound New Zealand. Let's see. Come on. It wouldn't come off that Euro yen. It just keeps freezing up there all the time. Pound New Zealand, we've got Pound Oz. Yeah, Pound Oz. Also a buy setup we're making a new low within that corrective structure. What's wrong with this thing, man? Okay, this is a little hard to work with when it's freezing up so often. But finally it's there. Yeah. So what we're looking for is you can move this to this one when it comes and break this low. I don't think this sell is a good idea. You get a 1, 2, 3. I think we're going to make a running flat. It might go a little lower, but structurally this is upside, pretty similar to this, right? Upside. So we're looking for the impulse. If this is going to drop, let's say we're not going to make that one up, but it's going to drop back all the way for this one, then it has to come down here and make a flag. This has to come here and make a flag because this flat inside of this piece, inside of this move, is not a good idea to sell. It could probably just do this and go. But if it comes here and make a flag, then that sell becomes valid. Because that sell means like this here, right? Once it breaks out of the structure, make a flag, that sell becomes a valid sell. So anywhere here, we get the flag, we'll go with the sell setup. For now, it's a buy. Punkat? Frozen again. It's a charts, actually. Give me one second. Let me just check some other thing on my computer. I just want to make sure everything else is opening quick. Okay, everything else that I have open on my computer is moving really fast. It's opening really fast, so it's trading view probably giving me that problem. The charts not moving. Okay, this gone back all the way to the top. Take the entry order out for the sell. It's no longer valid. Come on, just in front of the news. Yep, it's no longer valid because they came up to the top, which means this is going to make one more move up and then probably come back. We still will come back, right? This is a huge flat here. That's an up move. The big flat there doesn't change structurally the direction. It just tells you that they're probably going to make a new high before they go. Come on. So an entry, or either we get a flag here and we buy this flag for the upside, or an entry order above the top. I think a flag would be a better idea for the upside. Aussie Swiss buy setup still valid. Still a buy setup. Aussie CAD. Come on. Sorry guys, my apologies. Normally the chart doesn't give me that much problem. It's only here. So Aussie CAD, if you get a flag, yeah, you can go for the trade. So far, no flag in this. But if you get a flag, you can go for the buy. Aussie yen. Okay, we haven't got a setup and take that out. That was a sell from there. Let's take this out. This was a sell from here. Take that one out too. Let me take out all of these so that. Oh man, it's so slow. Take this out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, which means unless we break this up or unless we come really high here, we're still looking for that sell setup. Buying it here is not much of an option, right? If it makes a flag here now, then you can continue to buy this. But each trade up is a risk because we have got a 1, 2, 3, and this is the impulse in it, which means at some point that starts to come down. And you've got to watch at which point, which means any sell setup would be valid for the downside. Oh, come on, man, not now. Sorry, guys. This only happened. It just happened. If I knew it was going to happen, we'd probably do something before I come in. So we wait for a sell setup here. Take off the sell we had and wait for a sell setup. Because it wasn't triggered. So we're going to put this, wait for a flag. This is the Aussie New Zealand. I think we're going to look at this. Aussie New Zealand, we can put an entry for a sell right now. Yeah, we broke the top, so we're going to assume that this was all the consolidation you had, this piece. Which means that sell is valid for downside. Still coming back one more like this. You can leave the entry where it is, but it's better to see if we can get it from the top, which means if this come here, make a flag, we sell the flag instead of waiting for this entry. Because this is only one move down. It's going to go back up, complete the pattern, and then drop. But the trade is still valid. We should take it. New Zealand Swiss, this came down pretty low. Anybody got tagged by that? By the way, if you got tagged, you may want to look for an exit because it looks like they're going to make one more up. See, this is going to go one more up, break the top, and then come down. It's a flat. It will still be a flat, except this would be a one more up. You're not really supposed to be tagged by it because it didn't really go break this low. It came all the way down, but didn't break the low. Come on. I don't think you should be because we're under this low, a couple pips away under this low, right? So this probably didn't tag. If it did tag, you wait for any pullback, close it. They're making a flat here. This one is going to go one more up like this. It'll probably start consolidating here and then go. We can even buy this one if you want. It's a short trade. Get to the top there. You'll probably see some consolidation start happening here. Maybe even a pullback to this low and then go. Break the top, and then we're looking for the sell. We'll try to get a sell from here. So we can leave this sell here. Nothing's wrong with that. If it drops to the bottom, you're still in the trade. Right. New Zealand yen, we're waiting for a flag for that. Let's see what happens. Yep, no, it went up some more. Well, it didn't went up anymore. It's still where it was. So we'll still wait for an impulse and a flag for the sell. I don't really like the buy. Let it drop, make a flag, and then we'll go for the sell because I think this is just making a flat. So until now, I don't think we should be getting into the buy in that impulse coming from there. Wait for the sell setup. and a buy on the cat Swiss. Yep, it came back deep, take off the buy. We're buying this flag. If it drops lower than that, you take it off. It's no longer valid. And well, the sell probably, if you wanted, there's probably one more sell. Take that off. Come on. But this here, wait for the flag and then sell. I don't think the sell is a good idea because you're in a 4-hour pattern and you're at the bottom of it. So that sell is a bad idea. Let it drop, break the low, then look for the reversal. Right, you're in this kind of a correction here. And you're at the bottom. Let it drop, make a flag here, and then sell. As of this, it can come here and go right back up. This is the trade we're looking for. So the setup we had this morning is no longer valid. Let it break the low. So it's likely going to break this low and then go back up. This low, not the entire structure, but at least this low. Drop here, break that low, and then we look for a buy setup. Tomorrow, maybe we'll get that one. Nasdaq, it did drop as expected. It's consolidating in here. So I don't think this is going to go anymore. So you can take that off. We're looking for if this is going to take off, but probably not. Take that off. Wait for this to finish. It's going to get one more downside. I'll take this off just so that it doesn't confuse. You're going to get one more consolidation here. I think this is going to consolidate here a little. Make a flag, one more drop. Not really a big drop. Drop like this, and then we look for a buy setup. Right? You can go with the sell if you want, but it's pretty risky. It's not going to go very far. I'll take it off, but if you want, it's a pretty risky trade. Man, this thing is getting on my nerves now. So we have 9. We have just a few more minutes. We have 20 more minutes remaining, so I'll finish this off really quick. Oh boy, this is going to take a while. Why the hell it keeps freezing up? I don't know. Remove that and remove. Yep. Okay, finally it happened. Nifty. Both sides possible. You can put the sell, you can put the buy. The first one, the trigger, take off the other one and manage it. This sell to the bottom, the buy to the break the top. Bitcoin, for those who are watching it, could still be a sell setup, but it's not ready. If you sold it yesterday, you can close it. It's probably going to do this here now and then drop one more. I think we should drop and break this low. So the sell setup is still valid all the way down there. And all these that we did this morning, this one, you could probably get a buy setup, is still valid. This one, sell setup, still valid. Come on. Yep, sell setup here is still valid to break through this. Drop through, break through this, and come break this low, probably even break through the bigger structure. And this one, you're waiting for a flag to sell. Yep, wait for a flag. Actually, you have a sell setup. You can put an entry order here now for the sell. Treat this as a small running flat, an entry order here, and this would be a good trade. So we can put an entry order there for the sell. And go for the sell. Right, so we're expecting that to drop beyond this point and then see how far it goes. So guys, that was all. Those were the trades we took this morning. A few of them you would close to break even. Some of them are already in profit, especially the majors. So you'll make your decision whether you want to take profit off of them or you want to keep them, put them at break even and keep them through the news. There is no right or wrong decision there. It's just a matter of which one you want to take. So let's go. Dollar index. We're preparing now for the news. Dollar index. Okay, this is a bit. So dollar index is dropping. Remember this morning we said we would like it to come and break the low. So there's still a drop there to happen, which means it will be, for my traders, if you're going to trade this, you will trade this with a sell. Right? You would have to know where to put your entry, how we manage it, what's the strategy you're using, and that would be a sell setup. If you're already in the sell, if you can sell the dollar index, you're already put the break even. Silver, it's not changing. Okay, this one is going to be tough to go in. So silver, we can go with a buy, put it a little high above the top. You'll have to decide where to put it. Don't let it tag you should it drop. So If it's going to, during the news, they'll widen the spread. So if this is going to drop and your too close is going to tag you, stay away from it. Gold, put it to break even and keep it. We're not going to put any trade on during the news, but if you're already in the trade, put it to break even and keep it. I'll take off this one. Come on. And that's the entry. I'll take off this one too. Come on, what's wrong with this? Good. So if you're in this trade, put the break even. If you're not in a trade, don't trade it. Euro. Again, if you're in the euro pair, good, put it to break even. I think we're going to break that top. You're going to get a good trade. If you're not in the trade, the problem is once it breaks that top, we don't know if it's going to go back down. All right, let me see if I can bring this to the 4-hour and without. Yep. This could totally go up or it could break the top and turn. You see the depth of this pullback is important. Pull back pretty deep. So if this is making a flat, it could just break that top and come right back down there. So taking the trade in a news event for the upside, although I think it will break that top, is a bad idea because you don't know how high it's going to go when it breaks the top. But if you're already in the trade, you're good to go. You should have been in that trade from this morning since we identified. So you're good to go. If it breaks through the top, good for you. Take profit. Pound. So those who are not in the euro, this is your chance. Go with the pound. It's a risky trade, but if they take off, it's good. Put it somewhere around the top here. Let me see, that is 27, 68, 78, 88. Put it above the top. Put it exactly where we have it somewhere. And what we're looking for is for this to take off really far sharp. If this thing comes here and start to pull back, we'll close the trade immediately. If it drops, no problem. We're not going to sell this one. Aussie. Okay, we still have time. This is slow. Aussie, we can go with a buy, but you'd have to put it just randomly about 20, 30 pips above the top. So that is 65, 76. So 66 will work. 66.04, somewhere there. Somewhere there, you leave it. If it takes off, that's a trade. If it's going to drop, we'll ignore it. If you want to sell New Zealand. So this would be a buy. It's not Aussie is not the best buy, by the way. Right, we're putting the buy, but we don't have a setup on it. We're just putting the buy because there's an up move to come. Come on. We're going to put it as an aggressive buy. New Zealand. I think we can sell this. The potential to the downside is big. What's happening to these charts, man? Let me see if I refresh it, if that's going to work. It's not really helping. Okay, New Zealand. A little faster. Okay, we can go with a sell setup here, put an entry to sell this under the low. That's a far way, but that's the best you can do. Swiss, if you're in that trade already, put it to break even, stay with it. The Swiss sell we wanted to, it's going to come and break this low. So the problem is, do we have an entry where we can come and break this low and still make profit? Right? Should it break the low and go back up? Let me put it here. Yep, a test of my patience. The chart is doing that right now. So we would have to put an entry somewhere here, probably 20, 30 pips. Below that is 27. So you'd have to be somewhere around 0.7. So not a good trade. This sell is not a good idea during the news. After the news, if we get a flag here, we'll still sell it. Which means if nothing happened during the news and this is a flag, we'll sell. But this is the sell from this morning. That is where if you're in that trade, your choice, put the break even, stay with it, or take the profit and don't trade it. Take off your profit and don't trade it. Because you already have this, and the chances are they're going to break this and then go back up. This would be a big flat. Now, how low they're going to go is the question. Nobody knows. So if you want to take your profit off, that's an option. You got good profit, so why not? Yen, let's go with the sell. Let's get aggressive. Take this out. Go 20, 30 pips below that is 71. So put it at 51, maybe 50. 45 should be okay. The idea is if you're going to get a big drop, you want the trade. If it just goes up, you don't want them to tag you. So I think this one is good. So we'll change that to sell. Come on. Yep. If I can do that today, change it to sell. CAD. If you're in the sell, you probably have 20 pips. It doesn't matter how much you have, put it to break even. If you're not in the sell, should we still put a sell setup on? Let's see. I'm not sure that they're going to go lower. It's possible. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, we don't have a buy setup, so the only thing you can go with is a sell setup or don't trade the CAD. So the CAD will take off. You're not trading it during the news. So you're not trading the CAD during the news. Oh, come on. And New Zealand, you're putting for a sell. You have enough counter trade. I think we have enough counter trades to trade. My traders just set up your trades and we're going to go. For the rest of the traders, you might take a, just take a couple of minutes, watch how we do this. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So pound Swiss buy, we look at all of those after the news. So we still have a lot of time. We still have 12 minutes. So you set up your trades. If you're in them or if you're not in them, you make that decision, set them up, and we're going to go. Let's look at a few more. Pound Swiss, I think we looked at that. Or pound Swiss, we didn't look at a pound Swiss. You're going to get a buy setup, but it needs to come down a little more. This needs to come down a little more. And yeah, it's a buy setup. Wait for the buy setup from the bottom. Right, wait for this to come down some more here. Come on, man, this is... Yep. Wait for it to come down somewhere and then look for a buy setup somewhere here going up. Will be a buy setup. Okay, let's see what else. This thing is annoying, pretty annoying to trade with this thing freezing up. Oh, the USD CAD, we're selling it for the news as a correction, the bias to the upside. So for those of you who are new to wave analysis, let me spend a few minutes on the CAD so you'll get it pretty quick. So daily structure. The daily structure, we're coming to this top and we're going there, but that doesn't mean it's going to go in a straight line. What that means is that every now and then you're going to get a correction and you might get a deep correction. So this one is coming from here to here, and it actually made a correction there, and a correction here. See that correction? So if this one is going to go from here to there, and you've got a small correction here, you can get a bigger correction here, and you can still go there. See, this one came here, and it went up back, and came here, and went up back, and still come here. So this is why it's called wave analysis, because we know that to create waves. And in the news, you see, we are not trading the CAD in the news. We're selling the CAD for a correction this morning. So if you're in the trade, if you're in that trade, right, you have to correct this impulse. See this movement here? We haven't had a correction that is huge enough. So this could come back here and then go. Make a small flag there, drop, make a small flag here, make a small flag here, and then go back up. That's normal. So this morning we were trading this one to come down. First small flag. Can this thing totally drop, make a new low, and then go back up still in this piece? Oh, my charts are killing me, man. That is possible. Nothing says we can't drop here, make a new low, and then still go back up. So if we get a sell setup there, we'll take it to see how far it goes. And then we'll exit it and we'll be looking for buy setups again, right? So if you would like to learn how to do this and understand it better, send me a Skype message. The Skype is in the description. So it's MANGL Mango 457. Send me a message and I'll give you the information on how to join us. So this trade, if traders are in, you can do two things. You can either close it or put it to break even if you can, if break even will hold. Depending on where your entry is, where you get in, and if you have 20 pips or more. Put it to break even. So guys, we still have 8 more minutes to go. Any questions? NASDAQ. I think we just did NASDAQ. Let me go through back again. Yeah, we just did this. We had a buy, we took it off. It's making a flat here, kind of a flat flag or something like that. Let me go with this one. Be easier to use this. We're making something here that should drop one more. See? Now, if this comes here, you can probably put a sell here for that one more drop. But like I said, once they drop here, we're looking for upside. So I let this drop, but we'll try to look for a buy from here going up. This sell, I'm not interested in the sell in this one. It's not really going anywhere far. You can put this line here and you can see this is where we are. Oh, come on, it froze up again. So this up move here, just like this one, or like this one here will probably go here and then drop one more. And then we're looking for the upside. Well, let's see. Same thing would be for US 30. Right? And same thing for S&P 500. Similar structures, right? So this one is making kind of a flat here. And then it's going to drop. So let's see. Yep, as long as it's in that big correction there, that correction mode doesn't stop until it breaks out. But that doesn't mean, remember, every trade, every impulse that starts at the bottom of a correction or at the top of a correction. So every impulse you're going to get starts in the correction. So the idea is to catch it at the bottom of a correction going up or at the top of a correction going down. And that's exactly what we're doing. See, pretty easy. Because by the time it breaks out of the correction, more than half of that impulse will be gone. I mean a big daily correction like the one we have, not a 60 minutes flag. Okay, guys, we have 6 more minutes. I'm gonna go on the euro. We'll just put it in the euro. Some of our traders are already in the trade, and we'll put it keeping it or take it off, and we'll see where this goes. We wanted to break the top and then come back down, most likely, because this one came pretty deep. See this? Oh, don't do that. This here came pretty deep. Right, kind of a 1, 2, 3, and then come back down. In the big picture, it could totally go up because this piece coming down might have completed the running flat. Not the best running flat we have, but it could be completed in the daily. We still have 5 minutes, okay. This running flat here. Come on, now you're gonna freeze up. Yep. We're thinking that it could come down, go here, and then come down one more here and then go. But what if it goes from here? Then would we take this as the running flat? Yeah, we will. This one is slightly bigger than this one, but it will qualify for a running flat. Or WXYXZ, if you want to look at it as a WXYXZ pattern for upside. Makes sense. So the buy is a good idea. That buy this morning was perfect. And during the news, now all you have to do is put the break even and stay with it. I would not buy this during the news because you have to stay away from it. You'll have to put an entry here. And all it can do is go there, tag you, and then start dropping. We'll try to sell this if that starts to happen. Right? If this starts to happen, we'll sell it. So we'll put it there. The interesting thing about this strategy, it's a momentum strategy that my traders will be using. We have to look at it at a pretty low time frame. That means we'll go all the way to the 1 minute, since we're trying to catch momentum moving really fast. And if my charts keep freezing up, we will have a lot of problem trying to deal with all these trades. So I'll leave it there, put it in there. I think I'll stay. Oh, come on, don't do that. You have 3 more minutes. If it doesn't freeze up, guys, most of you'll have to manage your trade yourself. You know the rules, you know how to manage it, so you don't really, because if this is going to freeze up, I probably wouldn't see anything during the news. I might not even get the candle if it goes up. You'll have to tell me that because it could totally freeze. If it drops, same thing, I may not see it. chart is freezing up quite a lot. Okay, now we wait. I'll mute myself for a minute. We have 2 more minutes to know what's the reaction. Okay, in a minute we'll see the reaction.
UJ down.
UJ down, euro up a little. So if you're in the euro, my charts freeze again. Oh, darn. Okay, you guys know to manage your trades, right? Good, it's going good. Yeah. Euro is going as expected. So if you're in the euro, you're doing great. UJ sell, you know how to manage it because my charts are going to freeze if I change, right? If I change, it's going to freeze up. So you guys manage your trade. I'm not even sure if the candle is moving, stop where it stopped. So good drop, good drop. This is the 1 minute candle. Don't worry about the first 1 minute pullback. Oh, darn, man, this is not good. It's freezing too much. Okay, put it this way. Most of them went the way we expect them to go. So Aussie up, pound up, euro up, gold up, silver up, Swiss down, CAD down, yen down. Perfect. The counter was New Zealand, so you can ignore that one. Okay, this has a little pullback. Wait 1, 2, 3. If it doesn't go, off you go. So pound gone up. Now, if you took the pound trade, man, if I touch these things, they freeze up. What the hell is wrong here? Anyway, you know how to manage it, right? You guys can do a good job. So I wouldn't, let's see if I can bring this here. I think there's more to go, but keep your eyes on it. It's going good so far. Okay, this is the first pullback, so keep your eyes on it. Remember, this could still go down back, so you don't want it to go too far. And this could still be a correction of 1, 2, 3, and go back, make a new low. So just go back, manage it, watch the 1 minute, watch the next minute. After that, the next 2 minutes to come up, I'll tell you. Oh my God. So it could be Zoom. I don't know. You're getting a delay too. So okay, guys, 1, 2, start making decisions. It's not going, right? So pull back, take break even if you have to. There's a good chance. Euro also take profit on the euro. Right? 1, 2, pull back. If it doesn't go break the top, then you now take the profit because the euro there earlier, you had an earlier entry, right? So all of them, right? All of them that went, the momentum died, so you'll have to take them off or take profit if you have the profits, right? So the euro was from here. We broke the top, it can pull back. This gives you a lot of profit there still. The yen, if you're tagged, let's go back to the 1 minute. Come on. Okay, that's more than 3 minutes. You should be off. This one didn't break the low. 1, 2, 3, take it off. Don't keep it, right? By rule, you're supposed to be out of those already. This is momentum trading. If the momentum dies, you take off the trade. So nothing new there. So we're going to assume that some of you got break even on them, and some of you who were in the earlier trades got profit. Right? Because you got to close it. If you haven't closed, they're going to pull back again, right? When they make the next pullback, close it. The momentum trade, it doesn't mean this is not going to go down more. It means the momentum strategy is off. Right? I think this is going to go down more. I believe we're going to get this. There's a good chance we're going to get this before we go back up, which means we're going to get a flat here. Right? Now, the trade that we're going to be looking for, if that is going to go, is that it makes the flag here on a 15 minutes, and then we will go with this trade, right? To test this low, something like that. This is the trade we'll be looking for. So now if it's going to go down, you need a 15 minutes flag. That's back to our normal strategy. Okay, I think you guys had a little insight into what and how we do. So I'll go through them. I'll go through back the majors now on the higher time frame. That is the 15 minutes. If my computer will allow me to do that now. Good. So let's start with the dollar index. Dollar index drop. It still could go a little more because we were expecting it to break the low, right? Remember what I said, I expect them to come and break this low. So I'll put a line just to see if the low is broken. That was your entry. And if you kept it, this is where the low is, which means I still think this is going to go a little more. Maybe a pullback and then drop again. That's normal. Give it a pullback, drop again. So if we make a flag here or a correction, we might get one more trade tomorrow to the downside. Silver. Yep, already pulling back. So if you took the silver trade, you should be out of it already in the 1 minute. Let me see how that went. Yep, 1, 2, 3, you're out of it, right? So 1, 2, 3, if you should be out at break even. If you're not out at break even, it pull back, take it off. The momentum strategy is not valid anymore. So 1, 2, 3, break even, take it off. Right? When this close and go back up there, you take it off, and then you're looking at this now. If you go back up, still give you break even, but that's not the momentum one, right? Let's go. It could still go up, but we don't have a trade as yet now. We'll wait for a flag if you're going to get a trade. But this deep pullback is not going to be a flag, potentially downside. So what would be the sell if it's going down? Well, let this come here and start to make a flag here. So if we start to see a flag here, we're looking for the sell. If you're in the gold, you're doing excellent. We broke out of the structure. That means we can totally go up, right? So the gold trade from this morning did perfect. You're going to watch it a little more here. You're going to watch a little more of this piece here. And then you start moving your trade into profit. If this running flat proves correct, they're going to come back down here and then go. If not, they're just going to take off. So if you're in the gold trade, you probably stay with it. Even in the 1 minute, I think it didn't make that deep pullback. So in the 1 minute, yes, you should close it. But if you're in from this morning, you're not trading it in the 1 minute only, right? If you're in this trade from here, then you can ignore the 1 minute trade and go back to the 15-minute exit. The 15-minute exit is not there as yet. Right? This is just one candle on the 50. Euro. If you're in this, I think you should take profit. You should have taken profit because it pulled back pretty deep. If not, take the profit or wait for this to go back up for a flag and then take profit. Pound. If you haven't taken the break even, you can still get break even. Take the break even. Aussie. So in any trade, any of these majors, you're going to get a trade to go in the opposite direction of what just happened. It will have to come down, make flags, and then sell. That is from 3 hours from now. Before you actually get, based on our strategy, before you actually get a sell, like on the euro, the pound, gold, silver, if you're going to get any sell set up, that's a couple hours from now. If you're going to get a continuation, which means them still going, you would have to still wait for a flag, which is at least 2 hours. So there's no trade anymore after the news. Just let it do what it has to do. Because anytime you jump in, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You either had to do it the way we did earlier, you're in the trade, or you're trying to take trade news and get out of it if it doesn't go. Right? Now, we can look at some of the crosses. NASDAQ, this is like the third or fourth time we're doing NASDAQ. Why everybody wants NASDAQ so much today. Right? Nothing, it just went up and it's coming back. Look for a sell setup. So, like I said, this would be kind of a flat here. I think you can go with 1, 2, 3. It comes back here, probably go back to the top and then drop. So this will stop here and then maybe go back to the top. If it's not going back to the top, wait for this to come here and make a flag. And then sell the flag. I believe they're going to go back to the top because this looks like a running flat. Right, the one coming down, not the one going up, makes a running flat. So it should go back up and then come down. Right? So let's go. Good job. So that means that this is not going to go right now. If it's going to go, you need a flag because this is not going to drop. This is a sharp move, so they'll likely go back up. Okay, so most of the patterns we're looking at might be completing themselves and we would get some kind of a direction. You get some kind of a direction in them, right? For the crosses, any other crosses you guys want to look at before I go? 1 second. Just tell me which crosses you want to look at and we can do that. Euro USD regular flat. You want to see if you can sell that? Let's see if it's a sell setup. Yep, it could be a sell, but you probably want to wait for a little flag first, right? It did what we expected to do, but you want some confirmation it's going to go. Remember, in this high, when it's moving so fast, right? When it's moving so fast, there's a good chance that it will stop here and even go back and retest the low and do this a few times before it drops. You can't be sure of that. So sometimes I know the emotions is that, oh my God, it's going to go way to the bottom and go without us. Well, then probably let it go without you. Wait for the flag and you'll be good. So what we will do is we'll wait for this to make a flag. It will stop. It will make a flag. It will stop somewhere. It will start to make a flag. And this will be the trade to the downside. Don't jump into this here because it will tag you and go right back to the top. That happened many times. So be careful with that. So this trade is off. Well done to you guys. Good profit. And this one, I think the gold, the euro, the trades you were in gave you profit. The trades you were not in, we'll call most of them break even because you got break even on them, or you should get break even, maybe even a small loss. I'll not count any profit, even if you got profit on them. I'll count the profit, we'll just count them as break even. But these were very good. So now I'll take this off and I'll put it like this. Come on, don't do that. Is that the flat for downside? I think so, especially since they pull back. So wait for flags. Flags is 2 hours at least. you jump into that thing right now, you're going to regret it. So let's put it this way. I'm waiting for flags. If you sell tomorrow, we'll come back and see what happens. Right? We'll come tomorrow in the London session and we'll see whether waiting for the flag was the right thing or just selling it right now is the right thing. I don't know. It could drop. It could drop without making flags, but I would always wait for the flag. So we'll see in the next couple of hours which one would make sense. Right? Because if I get a flag, I'll sell it. And I think a 15-minute flag would be good, which at least would take about 2 hours. So I'll leave you guys with that. My computer is killing me to work. I wish I could take questions. Let's leave all the questions for tomorrow. And if you want the full version of everything, go watch it this morning webinar. All the charts we went through, that explanation of euro breaking the top and coming back down is in this morning's webinar. You will see exactly that forecast in the webinar we did in the London session. That's why we bought it, because we said it's going to go break the top and the probability is going to come back down, make a new low, then go back up eventually in the 4 hour, right? So we will skip all of the charts. Sorry, guys, no questions. This thing is getting on my brain. This freezing up. I really don't like it. It's getting my nerves, put it that way. And I'll just get too tired of it. We had about 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th session today. Yep. So I'll take a break now. Thank you for coming. Good trading, trade with care. Don't chase these pullbacks. Wait for them to form the flags and then you'll get good trades. See all of you. Thanks for coming. See all of you tomorrow. Make sure you share the good news. Let traders join us. And tomorrow we'll see what happens, right? Thanks for coming. Take care. Bye. Let me go solve my problem with this chart.